before we get into that, and I think maybe it's safe to do this way, let me get rid of the negativity in my soul before we get into it.
Get it out of the way, man.
Yeah, you said you watched the first 3 episodes of the new series called Heels on Starz.
I have.
So by getting through 3 episodes, it's safe to say that you're a fan.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about it so far. There's some questionable things that happened on the show that I'm just like, that's strange. I won't get into details or anything.
Go ahead, because I'm not going to watch it.
There's some... I'm really curious to hear what your hate is for it, but I mean, I don't hate it. I'm seeing where it goes. I'm only 3 episodes in.
It's probably still pretty introductory.
Yeah, like the whole first episode is set up. Like the whole first episode, I was like, it's all right. So I watched the second one, and I was like, okay, I see where it's going. And there's a lot of wrestling stuff in there. It's, but I mean, it's not a bad show, but it just hasn't.
That's what I
won me yet.
I know Stephen Amell is a legitimate huge wrestling fan. He did some work with the WWE.
Yeah. And Green Arrow is actually my favorite DC character, and he was on that show and shit. And then the other dude in the show is from Vikings, and I love that show.
So you're already a fan of both the actors. By all accounts, Stephen Amell's a really good actor. I'm not a comic book guy. I didn't watch the show, so I don't know. But by all accounts, they're both talented dudes. And knowing that Stephen Amell is a big wrestling fan, I came in with high hopes. Literally, the first part of the episode is him typing up a script. And they kept saying the word script. Yeah. And it's just that the whole thing is just kind of kicking me in the dick every time they said it.
Yeah.
I have been on hundreds upon hundreds of independent shows. There's never once been a script ever.
Really?
So the very concept, at the very tip top of it, the concept of what they're doing, I'm like, well, that's not right. And if you're going to give me a show that has a setting, the setting is independent wrestling. It's not mainstream. It's not. That's the setting. It's not a background. It's not. There's hospital shows. There's cop dramas. This is about independent wrestling.
Well, it's not a fantastical show either. It's supposed to be based in reality.
It's supposed to be based in reality, and so right off of the rip, I'm like, there's not once has there ever been a script handed to me or presented at an independent show. And that's not just on Ring of Honor does not have scripts.
All right, but I know WWE scripts that
WWE
shit.
does.
And I'm pretty sure the only organization he's ever worked for is WWE,
and
right?
Therefore,
I think he did a little bit of independence.
Did he?
He's real good friends with Cody back.
I think therein lies
they did
the
that
problem.
Stardust stuff.
I think therein lies the problem.
Is that he knows it from the big leagues.
If he's the one who's presenting it, that's
I don't know if
presenting
he is,
the concept of this show, and that's his experiences. That's fine. It's not authentic in the least bit.
No, yeah, you're right about that, and that is a bit like that's like a underlying theme throughout the 3 episodes I've seen.
What's in the script or what have you. Now, there's creative, and you can have creative differences on the independents. There's, between the talent and the guys who book in the shows. Yeah, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of, well, if it's not in the script, it's not what we're done. Man, fuck you. Like, I get fired. I got fired up. I only got halfway through.
You think they're just trying to Hollywood up the fact, like, sensationalize, that it is predetermined, and they're just trying to drive it to the viewer that doesn't watch wrestling?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they are. And that's the other thing. Like, I didn't even get to the point where, you could obviously see that there's going to be a difference in opinion between the brothers. The younger brother portrays is a big star. He gets over with the crowd.
Yeah.
That's coming right off the rip. Like, oh, you don't hear the reaction? I mean, that, I get it. And I get that's where the drama's probably going to come on with him being a family man at home, too, with the wife. And the money that goes into producing your shows, that is real. I mean, that could be a strain on your real life where you have to invest money to try to turn your own product around. Those tensions definitely could be real life things.
Yeah. But that's the problem you have with it, is that? The script thing?
Scripting, and then when they're at the...
Because you stopped after that, I'm assuming. Because you know about that. But
well, I stopped halfway through. I was where they were meeting the dad's old opponent. I can't remember his name, but like the cowboy-looking guy. It was the dad's old opponent.
Yeah.
They're meeting with him in the back, and I was just like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Okay.
The other part that I like when they were outside of the church and they got the wives, like, well, you're a wrestler wife now. You need to learn about kayfabe. Like, fuck you. Like, that's not. No, that's not.
No. I see what you're saying. It's kind of cheesy when you put it that way.
And I think you're right, John. I think they're trying to Hollywood it up, where they're like, here you go, everybody. This is exactly what this is, and it's like, no, it's not.
You're right.
If you're going to make it feel like an authentic experience, like how it really is, I mean, they could have done
Well, especially it's set in
So
modern
many things.
time. I've not
Yeah.
seen the show.
Yeah.
So if this was set in like the 70s, it'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
the kayfabe thing with the wives might be a thing, but like
Sure.
modern times, like
Sure.
Yeah,
you know, like,
nowadays everybody knows. It's not a secret.
yeah, is your
Right.
if your girlfriend or wife not gonna know like what you do is
Now I seen the scene where the younger brother was a dick to the girl at the gas station.
Yeah.
And like, there's a little bit of that too. Like, if you're a heel and I guess it's being interpreted as a small town feel. So if you are that baby face, like where you actually are selling tickets, no, don't go out to the store and be an asshole.
Be an
Because
asshole,
especially in
'cause
the
he
age
was
of
a total
social
dick.
media, like where, no, man, no, like real life people. I mean, we talk about the Me Too movement, stuff like that. So real life, no, don't be an asshole in real life, even if you are over as a baby face, because that will come back to bite you.
especially if the
in the
show's
No, for
bringing up
sure.
kayfabe. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna happen
exactly,
both
yeah.
ways.
But that's
Exactly.
did you watch the show at all? No.
I know. I know all
But
of
so
it.
you only saw like maybe like the first 20 minutes.
I got through about half.
because it's like an hour long.
Yeah,
episode.
and I just thoroughly did not enjoy it, so I was good.
As the episodes go on, not to spoil anything, I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as I can. But as the episodes go on, the script thing does kind of remain in the storyline, but it's all about the brother really, like needing to turn heel. Like that's the main focus of what I've seen so far. So it kind of strays away from but the script thing is an underlying thing.
Yeah.
But again, I've only seen 3 episodes, and I don't know where it's going. That's why I'm kind of still watching it. But I agree with you, and I did notice a little bit of these things as I'm watching it.
And they were heavy on it. It wasn't like it was just mentioned, like, hey man, here's the script for the show. I could look past it, but like the whole time, like he's telling the wife, like, I gotta finish the script.
It's
like,
a main,
it's
yeah,
like this
like,
is like
and it's causing tension with him and his wife. And so,
Yeah.
it's like a main
so
plot point.
they're heavy on
You
it.
think they're just not trying to use wrestling terms like match card or like
Possibly.
layout, you know what I mean? So they're just using basic.
Possibly, but you could still like
just to
so-
dumb it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when he's talking in wrestler speak where you're like, I got to meet up with the office, go over some creative, figure out what story we're going to go with, da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, that might be a little too deep, but you could easily say, like, honey, like, I'm not going to make it. I got to figure out what we're doing on this show next week because this show is going to be our biggest draw of the year, and it's going to be everything that's important going forward. I really need to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
real life, too. You could,
Yeah, because it almost makes it sound like they just don't want to use terms like I gotta finish this booking,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
So maybe you could look past it.
right. I would have been. I know that's the thing. I would have definitely been able to look past it, but as we're mentioning, it's a heavy focus on the show of
Yeah.
what is happening in the script. Like,
In this, and it's heavily focused on this one DWL, this one promotion that is ran by the one brother,
Right.
and was started by the father. But they're starting to introduce cat hair. They're starting to introduce another rival wrestling promotion. I don't know if
Okay.
you saw any, but I don't know if that
no,
was
it's
in
true.
the
I
first
think it was
one.
like Impact or
But
something.
I don't know if you
wasn't
know who Mike O'Malley is.
Yeah.
He plays the
Guts.
guy. Yeah, exactly.
Do you have it?
Guts. I love that shit. back
They
in the day.
showed like a commercial where he said like, and again,
They
it
keep
was
showing
really,
promos and shit.
It was really cheesy too, where they say like no DWL like fans are allowed or something like that. If you go to the DWL show, you can't come to our show.
Something
like that. Which
he's
of course,
he's pushing it hard.
of course, would never happen. But
Unless you're in a cross promotion,
Sorta.
actual battle storyline. but-
Yeah.
They're trying to make it like a war, like a Monday
Yeah.
Night
but
War
they're
or something.
with the implications of these guys are trying to run this group out of town.
But I mean, we're barely just starting to see that other promotion pop into this thing, and that's when I saw it was actually Mike O'Malley that was in those promos and shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe I'm just wishful thinking here, trying to be positive, but maybe we'll see something from that promotion and they do things differently. Maybe,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't.
Maybe
do,
not. Like I
But
said,
even
maybe
then,
I'm
if they
just
harp
trying
on it, they
to-
go, we don't do scripts here. It's like,
exactly, sort of,
well, nobody does scripts anywhere.
because they're
motherfucker.
supposed to be the more extreme
Gotcha.
version of it. You know?
Gotcha. I don't know. There's a lot of great things to watch right now, to be honest. So.
But I just to confirm for you, it is very much like a dumbed down Hollywood, like almost like CW version of like
Well, what's
a gritty
scary
wrestling
to
show.
me,
But it is rated R. You see
what's
titties and shit like that.
What's scary to me is that then you'll have fans that watch the show and go, I know all about what you do, and I know your scripts, and it's like,
That's true.
Yeah,
It's like
I don't know
everybody
if people
becoming
are
a Harley
dumb.
Quinn fan after fucking Suicide Squad came out.
Yeah, that's the thing that concerns me. But yeah, I want to get that negativity out of my soul because I know you guys are excited to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about All Out last night.